Okay. Hi everyone. Okay, so this is chapter 7 in the book called Second Language Acquisition. Yes, second language learning and teaching. It is in chapter 7. Yes. Okay, so right now let me do the presentation about this one, second language learning and teaching. Okay, topic in this slide. We have the first one, definition. The second one, what exactly does the second language learning come from? Yes. A basic disagreement. Number 3, a basic disagreement among different linguistic perspectives. Number 4, topic number 4, how does the learner acquire second language knowledge? Number 5, approaching near native competence. And number 6, implication for second language learning and teaching. Okay, so we will go into each one in a deeper manner, okay, in the following slide. Okay, topic number 1, definition. A second language, we have L2 as a representation of second language. Yes, L2 is any language learned after the first language or mother tongue. Yes, so after we have learned the first language or our mother tongue, and then we try to study a second one, so a second one called a second language. Yes, the second language. Okay, what exactly does the L2 learning come from? Yes, what does the L2 learning come from? Okay, 1, a system of knowledge about a second language which will beyond. Okay, this one which will go beyond what could possibly have been taught. Okay, so a system of knowledge about a second language, sometimes it have gone beyond what could possibly be taught. Yes, beyond. Yes. Okay, number 2, pattern of recurrent element that comprise component of second language specific knowledge. Okay, so pattern of recurrent element that comprise, that make component of second language specific knowledge. Okay, so the second language specific knowledge, we have vocabulary, lexicon. Yes, lexicon mean word. Yes, word at the lexical level, vocabulary, lexicon. Morphology, word structure. Okay, morphology, I have taught this topic, morphology, in a video, so you can go to my YouTube, Pornpakun, and then you can watch the video called morphology. Yes, it's around 49 minutes. Okay, morphology, word structure, word formation. Yes, phonology, the sound system, the study of the sound system, phonology. And syntax, study about grammar. And discourse, the study about way to connect sentences and organize information, how to connect sentences into group, and then we do the translation depending on the context. This is called discourse. Okay, number 3, how to encode particular concept in the second language, including grammatical notion of time. Okay, how do we encode the concept in the second language in terms of time, number of reference, and the semantic role of elements? Yes, so how? Okay, how do we encode in terms of time, in terms of reference, in terms of semantic role of elements? Okay, number 4, pragmatic competence. or knowledge of how to interpret and convey meaning in context of social interaction. Okay, pragmatic competence means the competence to do the interpretation or to convey the meaning in the context of social interaction. In one context, in what context we are talking about. So this is called pragmatism. Yes, pragmatic competence. Number 5, means for using the second language in communicative activity, listening, speaking, reading and writing. Yes, mean for using the second language in communication purpose. So we have to involve all the 4 macro skills: listening, speaking, reading and writing. Okay. Sometimes we do the communication by using listening and then speaking. Sometimes we communicate with someone by using reading and writing. Okay. Number 6, how to select among multiple language systems and how to switch between languages in particular social context and for particular purposes. Okay, so this one we study a second language for a particular purpose. Okay, we try to switch between language in particular social context. Okay, and we try to switch from the multiple language system. Okay, and we study it for a particular purpose. Yes. Number 7, communicative competence. All of the above plus social and cultural knowledge required for appropriate use and interpretation of second language form. Okay, this is called communicative competence. Yes, the ability to communicate with people by using appropriate use and interpretation of the second language. Yes. Okay, a basic disagreement among different linguistic perspectives. Okay, a basic disagreement. 1. An abstract system of underlying rules or principles. 2. A system of linguistic patterns and structures, or a mean of structuring information and a system of communication. Yes. Okay, so these are the basic disagreement among different linguistic perspectives. Okay. Okay, how does the learner acquire second language knowledge? 1. Innate capacity. Innate capacity. Innate means since you were born. Embedded in. Innate embedded in. ភ្ជាប់ជាមួយណា Innate capacity មានន័យ capacity ដែលភ្ជាប់ជាមួយយើងតាំងពីយើងកើតមកណា The natural ability of people to acquire language. បាទអានឹងសម្បត្តិភាពធម្មជាតិឬយើងអាចហៅយ៉ាងទៀតថា talent ណាទេពកោសល្យក៏បានដែរហ្នឹង talent ចឹងនឹងអ្នកមាន talent រៀន second language ហ្នឹង differently ផ្សេងគ្នាណាអត់ដូចគ្នាទេអ្នកខ្លះកែ reading ជាងទៅអ្នកខ្លះកែ writing ជាងទៅអ្នកខ្លះកែ speaking ជាងគេទៅបាទកម្រិតនៃការប្រកែគឺផ្សេងគ្នាទៅតាម innate capacity ទៅតាម talent របស់គេម្នាក់ៗណា Okay, number 2, application of prior knowledge. Okay, the initial state of second language include knowledge of the first language, the language in general. When we study the second language, we always use our knowledge of the first language as the background, right? Like we are Cambodian people, we know the sentence structure, subject, verb, object. ខ្ញុំទាត់បាល់ ឧទាហរណ៍ So when we create a sentence, simple sentence like this in English, we also use subject, verb and object. I kick the ball. You see? So it's easy for you to remember because of the background of the knowledge of the first language you have known already. Okay, and the processes of second language acquisition include interpretation of the new language in terms of that knowledge. Yes. Yes. So when you learn the second language, you have to be able to do the interpretation of the target language, the second language, that second language, in terms of that knowledge, in terms of the target second language you are learning. Yes. Number 3, processing of language input. Input is one of the most important elements in the process of second language acquisition. Yes. So when you learn a second language, during you learn the second language, I mean in the process, yes, you need important elements to produce good result. Okay, so the important element you have known already, like motivation, like your effort, commitment, enthusiasm, everything to put in. Yes, yes, we call input. សមាសភាពសំណាអញ្ចឹងដើម្បីរៀន second language មួយឲ្យបានល្អបានលឿនឲ្យបានផ្កាទោះតែយើងមានធាតុផ្សំជាច្រើនមានដូចជាកត្តា motivation យើងត្រូវតែមានកត្តា motivation ខ្ពស់ទើបយើងរៀនឆាប់ចេះបាទទី2ការខិតខំប្រឹងប្រែង effort commitment ការបដិញ្ញាចិត្ត enthusiasm ការសាទរទៅនឹងភាសាដែលយើងកំពុងរៀនហ្នឹងបាទចឹងមានច្រើន input មានច្រើនណាអូខេ interaction social perspective generally hold the second language acquisition benefit from the active engagement of learner in interaction or participation in communicative event. Okay, so interaction is, I mean, it has a role, it has an important role to play in second language acquisition. The more interaction you conduct with the community, with the event, the better result you will get from learning that language. Okay. Okay, number 5, restructuring of the second language knowledge system. Restructuring of the second language knowledge system. Okay, so the more you know about the second language, the more chances you can restructure the second language knowledge system. You can make some correction. Okay, you can better your knowledge about the second language, about the knowledge about the second language. Yes. Number 6, mapping of relationship or association between linguistic function and form. Okay, so when we talk about linguistic, we refer to the function and the form of the word, of the sentence. Yes. Okay, so you have to map the relationship, where's going, where they are going, what they are doing together. Yes. Automatization means standard deviation decreases more than min or t. Okay, or t. So this one related to the statistic, and it's hard. It's a little bit hard for me to explain to you. Okay, but in terms of automatization, the more you use the language, the more skillful you become in that language. The more you do the writing, the more you can do the writing. The more you read, the more you can read. Okay, so it become the habit, and then it become the skill, and it become the automatization. Yes. Okay, why are some learners more successful than others? Okay, you have to think about this. You know, you are a second language learner, and your friend is a second language learner as well. But why one learn faster than the other? Why one more successful than the other in terms of learning the second language? Okay, so there are many factors that affect this result. The first one, social context. Social context is the indirect and direct influence individuals are in constant communication and within involvement of by means as role player or participant. Yes, so social context it refers to the community, the family, the group of people you belong to. You are always by their side. If all of them use English, for example, English as our second language, if all of them speak language, and then it's gonna be easy for you to develop English knowledge. The more you interact in constant communication or within involvement, okay, in the communities, in the event, the better you're gonna be in terms of that target language. Yes, so social context has a role to play in this result. Okay, number 2, social experience. Quantity and quality of second language input and interaction are determined by social experience, and both have significant influence on ultimate success in second language learning. Yes, you know, social experience really affect the learning outcome of the second language learner. Okay, the more they experience using the target language, the better they will become. Yes, in terms of that language. This is one thing. And another thing, if they just experience this way, yes, they develop only this way. If they experience in many ways relating to the target second language, and then they know only those ways in terms of the language. Okay, so social experience really affect the result as well. The more social experience they have using that language, the better they will become in using that language as well. Okay, another one, relationship of first language and second language. We can say all languages are learnable, but not all second language students are equally easy for speaker of particular first language student to acquire. Okay, so relationship of L1 and L2, it means that if the formula, the structure of the second language the same as the structure, the form of the first language, and then it's gonna be easy for the learner to learn the second language. Okay, so let's say Cambodian people learn English and Chinese learn English. So English and Khmer almost the same, the structure, the form, yes. But Chinese and English far different. So if the first language and the second language almost the same, like Khmer and English, and then Khmer will learn English better than Chinese learn English. This is the relationship of L1 and L2. Okay, age also affect the result of learning second language as well. Age commonly believe that children are more successful second language learner than adults. Okay, so if you want your children, if you want your younger brother and sister learn a second language better, you should let them learn when they are young. You should expose them to a second language when they are young, before they enter into adulthood. Okay, number 5, aptitude. Aptitude learner differ in capacity or discriminate and process auditory input to identify pattern and make generalization and to store linguistic element in memory. Okay, aptitude refer to the talent as well. Aptitude, talent, ទេពកោសល្យ Okay. Some learner they are good at auditory input, and then it will be easy for them to make the generalization of the language and store linguistic element in their memory. But some students are very poor at auditory input, so it's hard for them to make generalization about the language, and then it's hard for them to store the linguistic element in their memory as well. So you see, aptitude, different ability, so they learn differently as well at different pace. Motivation also affect the learning outcome as well. Motivation likely determine the level of effort which learner expend at various stages in their second language development, and it is often a key to ultimate level of proficiency. Yes. So the more motivation the learner get, the better the result of the studying will come. Okay? Because of the motivation. If they lack of motivation, they will not try hard to study. They will not put all the effort in studying. They will not have enthusiasm in learning, so the result will be poor. So they need motivation, internal and external, both. You know, we have two kinds of motivation, internal motivation and external. Internal, something from within, your enthusiasm. Yes. External, it can be material thing, like book, like money, like pens. Yes, something outside, materialistic motivation. Okay, number 7, instruction. Quality of instruction clearly make a difference in formal context of second language learning. Yes, instruction, quality of instruction. Okay, can you imagine if you learn a second language with a teacher who is very qualified and competent in teaching you, and another one you just learn from the one who has just known more about the language than you. So which one you can learn better? With whom? Okay, so with whom you can learn the language better? Okay, it must be with the one who is very competent and very qualified, right? Yes. So instruction need quality to make the learner learn fast, learn much. Okay. Yes. And approaching near native competence. You know, approaching, come closer. Near native competence សមត្ថភាពស្ទើរតែស្មើនឹងជនជាតិដើម អ្នកប្រើភាសាដើម native ណា The most likely level of linguistic production to retain some identifiably foreign feature is pronunciation. Okay, so near native competent or not, generally we look at the pronunciation. Oh, my friend has a good pronunciation. He look like a native speaker, English speaker. You see, so we focus mainly on pronunciation to measure near or far native competent. Especially if second language learning began after the age of 12 or so. Okay, especially if second language learning began after the age of 12 or so. Okay, learner will have to select from a more limited lexical repertoire than do native speaker of the same educational level, will not use words with the same probability of occurrence in the same phrasal unit. Example, collocation, and will not recognize connotation and allusion which require cultural information and experience. Okay, កន្លែងហ្នឹងគេចង់និយាយថាអ្នករៀន learner អ្នករៀន second language ហ្នឹងគឺប្រើប្រាស់ពាក្យមិនសូវប្រើ varieties of word ទេពាក្យផ្សេងពាក្យថ្មីទេគឺប្រើតែស្ដាប់បានយល់បានណាអញ្ចឹងវា limited lexical repertoire than do native speaker វាតិចជាងពួក native speaker ដែលគេប្រើដូចភាសាគេរងថ្ងៃពាក្យថ្មីពាក្យអីគេប្រើបានទាំងអស់ណាយើងអ្នករៀន second language ហ្នឹងគឺទៅប្រើតែពាក្យសាមញ្ញស្ដាប់គ្នាបាន communicate គ្នាបានតែប៉ុណ្ណឹងណាហើយការប្រើ collocation ក៏យ៉ាងដែរ collocation គឺសំដៅ noun adjective ដែលទៅជាមួយគ្នា verb និង subject ទៅជាមួយគ្នាអញ្ចឹងបើ native speaker គេប្រើ verb ណាប្រើមួយ noun ណាគឺប្រើត្រូវគ្នាតែម្ដងណាចំណែកឯយើងរៀន second language ហ្នឹងគឺមិនទៅទេដូចធ្វើសង្គ្រាមអញ្ចឹង collocation to unleash war to wage war to make war ហើយដល់ពេលយើង second language learner ជួនកាលយើងប្រើ do the war ធ្វើសង្គ្រាមនេះវាខុស collocation វាខុស verb ហើយនឹង noun war ហ្នឹងអត់ប្រើជាមួយ verb do ទេអញ្ចឹងយើងប្រើទៅវាអត់សូវស៊ីគ្នា collocation ដូចពួក native ទេបាទហើយអា connotation នៃបង្កប់ក៏មិនស៊ីជម្រៅដូចពួក native ដែរ native គេប្រើពាក្យហ្នឹងគឺសំដៅន័យវិជ្ជមានឬអវិជ្ជមានគឺបង្កប់ connotation នៅហ្នឹងហើយចំណែក second language learner អត់ទេប្រើតែន័យត្រង់ពាក្យហ្នឹងដឹងតែបកអញ្ចឹងន័យខ្មែរចំពាក្យហ្នឹងបកអញ្ចឹងដែរគឺប្រើពាក្យហ្នឹងអត់ដឹងថាបង្កប់ន័យវិជ្ជមានឬអវិជ្ជមានអីទេបាទ allusion ក៏អញ្ចឹងអត់ពីក្នុងការប្រើពាក្យហ្នឹងគឺអត់មានការសម្មើសម័យ allusion មកមើលមកងាយសម័យនឹកគិតដល់អីដូចពួក native ដែរ native គេប្រើពាក្យអីគេបញ្ចេញសលេងយ៉ាងម៉េចគឺបង្កប់ភាពរវើរវាយគេនៅហ្នឹងមិនដូច second language learner ច្រើនតែនិយាយន័យត្រង់ពាក្យចំពាក្យត្រង់ណាបាទអូខេកន្លែងហ្នឹងគេចង់និយាយថា Okay, older second language students who do approach near native competent almost surely have benefited from extensive and varied input. But older second language students that approach near native competent generally get extensive and varied input. Like they get feedback which includes some correction. But feedback from the lecturer, feedback from the scholar, feedback from the committee advisor when writing the thesis, for example. ចឹងពេលបាន feedback ច្រើនគេកាន់តែកែលម្អបានច្រើនគេទទួល motivation ការបញ្ចុះបញ្ចូលការលើកទឹកចិត្តច្រើនក៏គេកាន់រៀនបានកាន់តែល្អដែរចឹងជាកត្តា input ទាំងអស់ណា vary input ហ្នឹងមាន feedback មាន motivation មានអីស្អីទាំងអស់ហ្នឹងណា and focus on grammatical form បាទហើយនឹងគេផ្ដោតទៅលើទម្រង់នៃវេយ្យាករណ៍ផ្សេងហ្នឹងត្រូវអត់ subject verb agreement collocation subject verb ទៅជាមួយគ្នា noun adjective ដែលទៅជាមួយគ្នាបាទ and very high level of motivation បាទ motivation ខ្ញុំពន្យល់មិញហើយគឺ very important ណា Okay, at the same time we must recognize that many intelligent hardworking highly motivated students will not approach this level of competence បាទចឹងគេថា at the same time we must recognize that many intelligent hardworking highly motivated students will not approach this level of competence. This level of competence mean near native competence ហ្នឹងបាទចឹងកូនសិស្សមួយចំនួនទោះបីគាត់មានកត្តា motivation ខ្លាំងយ៉ាងណាគាត់ខិតខំរៀនយ៉ាងណាក៏ដោយតែអត់ជំរុញគាត់ឲ្យដល់អាកម្រិតមួយមើលទៅស្ដាប់ទៅដូចជនជាតិដើមទេបាទអាហ្នឹងយើងត្រូវតែ recognize ណាត្រូវទទួលស្គាល់អញ្ចឹង It is important for language teacher in particular to accept the fact that native like production is neither intended nor desired by many learners whose goal for second language use do not include identification with native speaker of the language nor membership in its native speak communities បាទចឹងវាជាការសំខាន់ណាស់សម្រាប់គ្រូបង្រៀនភាសាហ្នឹងជាពិសេសត្រូវទទួលស្គាល់ថាការធ្វើឲ្យដូចជា native ហ្នឹងគឺពេលខ្លះកូនសិស្សគាត់មិនចង់ណា neither intended គាត់អត់ចង់ទេហើយក៏គាត់គ្មានបំណងចង់ថាឲ្យខ្លាំងដូច native speaker ដែរអត់ទេព្រោះគាត់អត់មានគិតថាគាត់ចាំបាច់ត្រូវនិយាយឲ្យដូច native speaker ដើម្បីបង្ហាញអត្តសញ្ញាណគាត់ថាគាត់ជា native speaker គាត់អត់ចាំបាច់ទេគាត់រៀន second language មកធ្វើការបានមកនិយាយ communication បានតែប៉ុណ្ណឹង sorry ចឹងគាត់អត់ចាំបាច់ដូច native speaker ទេបាទណាចឹងយើងជាគ្រូយើងត្រូវមើលតាមហ្នឹងណាមិនអាចបង្ខំគាត់មិនអាចអីព្រះផ្ដាស់បានទេចឹងគាត់ចង់រៀនតែមកប្រស្រ័យតាក់ទងបាននិយាយបានធ្វើការងារបានអីចឹងទៅរស់នៅបរទេសបានតែប៉ុណ្ណឹងបាទ sorry no membership in its native speak community ហើយមួយទៀតក៏គាត់មិនចង់ឲ្យ community របស់គាត់សហគមន៍របស់គាត់ទូស្គាល់ថាគាត់ជាសមាជិកនៅក្នុងសហគមន៍មួយដែលប្រើភាសាអង់គ្លេសដូច native អីក៏គាត់អត់ចង់ដែរគាត់មកនិយាយគ្នាបាននិយាយជាមួយអ្នកជិតខាងបានពឹងពាក់គេបានជួយការងារគេបានតែប៉ុណ្ណឹងបាទអូខេ Okay, this is implication for second language learning and teaching. Okay, consider the goal that individual and group have for learning an additional language. So you have to think about the goal, about their goal. What are their goals? Why they are learning second language? To live abroad, to find a good job here in Cambodia, or to find a good job in Britain or in the US. So you have to know about their goal. Set priority for learning and teaching that are compatible with those goals. Okay, so if you can find what are their goals, and then you have to set priority. You should teach what to this guy. You should teach what to this guy first, and then should teach what, and then should teach what. Okay, accordingly. Approach learning teaching tasks with an appreciation of the multiple dimensions that are involved: linguistic, psychological, and social. Okay, so when you know what are their goals, you know what they want to know about the language, you have to approach learning and teaching tasks with appreciation, with the appropriate use of linguistic, psychology, and social factor. Okay, you have to use them to satisfy their need. Okay, understand the potential strength and limitation of particular learner and context for learning, and make use of them in adapting learning teaching procedure. Okay, you have to know about their strength, you have to know about their weakness, their limitation. Okay, and make use of them. Make use of them mean what is the best way to make their learning effective. Okay, to make their learning effective. Okay, because and subscribing to any instructional approach which is narrowly focused or dogmatic. There is no one best way to learn or teach a second language. So this one is because with your teaching methodology, with your teaching technique, with your classroom management. Yes, you have to be flexible. Okay, because here there is no one best way to learn or teach, so you have to use a variety of technique. You have to use different way of managing the class. Okay, you have to use different material to give to the student. Yes, to fit their need, to fit their degree. Yes, like there is no one best way to learn or teach. It seems like there is no one size. It seems like it's the same, like one size doesn't fit all. គ្មានខោអាវរបស់របរប្រើប្រាស់មួយណាមួយទំហំប្រើត្រូវមនុស្សគ្រប់ຂនាតគ្រប់ទំហំនោះទេបាទតែនឹងចង់យ៉ាងមាន different people we use different way of teaching, we use different material to give to him, we use different teaching methodology. Yes, we have different way to manage him in the class, in the learning environment. Yes. Okay, so thank you for your commitment. Yes, and enthusiasm in learning. Yes, thank you so much. We finish right here, right now. Okay, so if you have question, you can discuss or you can ask in our Zoom session or in group Telegram or through my telephone number. Okay, thank you.